I was glad to wake up today and see that the Earth is still spinning on its axis. We're still here. We've got war in the Middle East. President Trump saying, I think it's time for a deal with Iran. The Israelis, it is reported, have achieved air superiority over Iran's skies. We continue to pray for Israel. You don't want World War III? Then you better hope that Iran doesn't complete their efforts to possess a nuclear weapon, because they'll do one thing if they get their hands on a nuke, and they will wipe Israel off the face of the earth. And that is not something that I think normal people want to be a party to anywhere in the world. The violent, vicious people who hate Israel, who likely hate the United States, I guess are okay with that. But meanwhile, here at home, there was an unspeakable, horrifying political assassination apparently over the weekend. I don't know if you want to call it political or not, but this crazed killer with some kind of a grudge against Democrats allegedly donned a police uniform and a creepy latex mask. If you haven't seen the surveillance pictures of this guy, it's something right out of a horror movie. He shot one Minnesota state lawmaker to death, killed her husband, shot the family dog. The poor dog reportedly had to be put down by the grieving orphaned children of this poor former Democrat House Speaker Melissa Hortman. And nothing about this makes sense. This story is so bizarre. Of course, you know that by now the guy's name is Vance Belter, some kind of weird former pastor, owned a security company, worked for a funeral home, had a wife and 5 kids and a big, beautiful home, but had a couple of roommates, including the Papa John's delivery guy who's sitting on the stoop reading Vance Belter's text messages. And I'm just looking right now at the charging document from the state of Minneapolis, Hennepin County. This makes no sense. He's been charged not with first-degree murder, but second-degree murder with intent not premeditated. Not premeditated? How's he not charged with first-degree murder? I'm no lawyer, obviously, but does that make sense? Does it make sense that the pizza guy is on the stoop insisting the guy is a Trump supporter? And what difference does it make if he's a Trump supporter? What difference does it make if he was a Tim Walz appointee? I was disgusted over the weekend in watching social media start out, he's a Tim Walz appointee. Oh, look at that. He's one of them. Then apparently the manifesto is released. He's targeting nobody but Democrats and abortion providers, abortion clinics. And according to the roommate, he's a Trump supporter. Who cares? And, you know, I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to turn it over to you, because if you think I've got the wrong take on this, I don't mind welcoming dissent on how I feel. When the crazed, maniacal, would-be killer of all the Republican congressmen he could kill, who nearly killed Steve Scalise when he shot him and tried to kill the Republicans on that baseball field, when it was revealed he was a Bernie Sanders supporter, I don't remember any of us blaming Bernie Sanders. I don't remember any of us blaming Democrats. There is no purpose, there is nothing productive of trying to blame one side or the other. And I think we got to knock it off. I really do. And I would urge our side to do the same thing. Look, I can't stand Tim Walz. I think the guy is a disaster. And he likely was a big contributing factor to Kamala losing the election. So I've got nothing good to say about him. And yes, it seems very notable that Tim Walz is now calling for, peace and love and unity after he went and said you need to go out and bully the blank out of Donald Trump. We all got to be bullies if you don't like Donald Trump, and we got to be meaner. Well, adults in the room can recognize Tim Walz didn't mean go out and kill people you disagree with. It doesn't matter that this guy was a Tim Walz appointee. And by the way, he was also appointed by the Mark Dayton administration. He was a Republican. We got to knock it off. We got to knock it off. Remember, the Bernie Sanders shooter. We didn't do this. And I don't know if this means lowering the temperature a little bit. I don't know if it means cooling down the rhetoric a little bit. I don't know. All I know is to blame an ideology, to blame a political party for the violent actions of a killer. Yes, I know the Democrats have lifted up Luigi Mangione. I understand that they seem to be, frankly, a pretty violent bunch. But if we don't stop blaming one side or the other for the actions of one twisted, evil lunatic, things are going to just get worse.